Welcome back, everybody, to Warriors of the Rainbow Spiritual Guidance YouTube channel. As always, my name is Jason, and I will be your guide. Thank you for everybody that's been here with me since the beginning, and welcome all newcomers. I hope this channel grows um, as I grow, right? As we grow. That's the whole point of me creating this channel, was to be of service and to motivate others to grow, and in the process grow on my own, right? We're all teachers and we're all students in life. Well, I want to deliver a message because in my experience for 44, I know I'm supposed to do this, but what I have been going through in my life is a perfect example for everybody to really understand. I'm not understand, understand. So I come from a drug addiction family, a long line of family line that's battled addiction of various sorts. Substances, sex, gambling, um, you know, ways of thinking, lack of mentality, the whole nine yards. And in my journey of healing, this is where I came, and this is what I'm doing, right? Because it brings healing to me. But I was at a meeting today, and this girl, it's synchronicity works. You can see it. Once you're awake, you will notice everywhere you go, there is a message for you. People speak things to you, 144, as I speak to you. And we are to carry this message within us. We are the light workers, right? And this is what we do, is we carry messages of light to lift others up. Now, sometimes what we carry, the truth that we speak, it stings because it brings truth to other people that are struggling not to see themselves. They can't, there's people out there, and I have issues I can't see, right? I have to learn through my experience. That's the same thing with you, but sometimes as my personality, it will trigger others because the truth does, that's what it's for, right? It's not, I'm not judging or putting myself above anybody ever. I speak truth, and I have a lot of truth in me, a lot of love in me that I want others to feel, and I want others to be liberated, knowing who they are, knowing they don't have to continue doing the things that they've been doing out of their ego and shadow self, right? In the same time, what will happen is I get it myself into relationships, whether that's business, friendships, relationships, and what I end up doing is I set boundaries, right? So I have learned to set boundaries. There is an important. This is what this message is mostly going to be about. It's going to be about boundaries, patterns, and self-harm, self-love, right? When we get ourselves in situations with people that go against our boundaries, right? So for example, if you know somebody's not emotionally available, yet you are trying to help or make them you want an emotional connection, right? And you project that onto them as in you want that, right? But they're not able to be there, they're not at that point. Well, then what ends up happening is we get hurt, right? Because we have created a false illusion in our mind that somebody is emotionally available when in all reality we knew that they weren't. And because we set a boundary up saying we would not do that, right? We wouldn't get ourselves in these situations. That is what hurts. It's not their fault. It is your fault. And I feel that strongly people don't realize what they're doing and that the blame, they shift it on others. There's a situation that I recently was just in, like recently, that I wish I could apologize to those people, right? This person, individual person. And there's other people all through my life where I did set boundaries, and because I saw something that I wanted, or I felt had feelings, developed feelings for someone who wasn't there, right? And because I continued to put my time and energy into it, knowing that this person wasn't there, and then when I realized what was happening, I then had to retract my energy because it was harming me. But then in the doing so, I at times I've done this where I have projected my hurt onto that person as if they did anything wrong, and the all reality and the whole truth is, no, they didn't. Even if it's something that doesn't resonate with you, right? Even if you see it as being wrong, it doesn't mean it is, because they were that's where they were, and we should as a people need to see this. We need to see where people are at, and we need to stick in our boundaries. If you're on a healing journey, you need to create boundaries. Boundaries are important. They're healthy. There is an importance to healthy boundaries. It keeps you focused and makes you feel loved and appreciated and wanted. That's okay. It is okay to set those boundaries. It is okay to feel the need to have boundaries. But if you create a boundary, right, you need to hold to it. If you go outside of that boundary, you can't then project that hurt and that pain onto someone else, because it was you that put yourself in that situation. So it takes two to tango. It always does. In a sense, once you're in the situation, it takes two. But before, you made the choice to get in the situation that did not resonate with you. So in the end, whose fault is it? It's called taking control of your own life and your own self. You can't control others. You can't make things be what they're not, right? You have to set your boundaries, retract your energy, right? And go within, give it to yourself, self-love. Because if you don't, you're harming yourself, right? And then on the flip side, when you do that, it also hurts that person, right? Because now you're retracting your energy, and they were also having feelings being developed, right? So, you know, my lesson and what I've learned is to hold firm to your boundaries. That I'm no longer going to put myself in situations that don't resonate with me. I'm going to try. Let me put it that way. Because I can't say that I never will, because, love is blind. It really is. And my heart's wide open. So I lead by my heart, and when I enter into any type of relationship, it doesn't matter if it's a friendship, I try to come from a place of authenticity and of the heart. I do not want the other stuff that I'm used to. I want, in a relationship, like in a partnership romantically, I want oneness, right? I want us to operate as one, because that's what I want. And it's okay to want that. But it's okay that somebody else doesn't want that. It is. That just means that doesn't match, right? So no matter how hard that is to have to deal with, and it hurts, right? Because I strongly believe most people do want the oneness. But the thing is, a lot of people are still in their trauma, and they don't want to come outside of their comfort zone because of the trauma, right? They don't. There's so much disconnection of the heart, and what I've learned too is like a lot of twisting happens to those that have learned to set healthy boundaries, where others are then projecting onto us that we're not loving them because love is unconditional. No, that's actually love. It's actually honor and loving them and appreciating them, because and while also loving and appreciating yourself. There has to be a mix. For those people that say that, well, if they say they love you, right? If they truly love you, why would they want you to be in a place where you feel the way you do? Why would they want you not to feel appreciated? Is that love? You see what I'm saying? So, in my lesson, what I'm basically teaching is the message of the day that Source has put on my heart because it came up in my life. It's definitely a perfect example, right? Do not project like onto those people that you deal with that aren't there. You have the right to not get in that. And if you do and you go outside of your boundary, then that's on you. So it was on me. It's not on that person. And I hope this message gets to this person. There's other people in my life that the same thing has happened. And I ended it, right? The communication, because it wasn't resonating. And I started to project a little bit, but I recanted it, and I know that the ending text that I sent, I'm not mad, because I wasn't. I was mad at myself. I'm mad at me for not, and then I'm really not even mad at myself anymore because it's learning, right? The beauty of life is to go on the highs and the lows and to learn. It's always a self discovery. We're always learning who we are, you know. And another thing too is, so is there patterns in your life that are continually happening? Like, I keep having people reach out to me, okay, women primarily, that are in a third party situation, but because they're not happy in that situation, uh, clearly, right? Because that's why they reach out. And because I carry this compassion and this love that a lot want, because it's my heart. I have a special heart. I'm not saying I'm better. I'm not saying I'm more or anything than anyone. It's just who I am. They see that, right? So then they come, and then me, because I am single and I want to have a partnership where we grow, right? Together. Most men do, and most women do. But because of that, what ends up happening is 3 times in the last 6 months, I have been presented the identical pattern, 1111, the same pattern, where someone will start communicating with me and I see people in the higher perspective and the light and the beauty that they truly are. And then what I do is I press it onto them as that is where they are, even though I know that's not. Even though the red flags, which is not or even a red flag, that saying is saying because it's outside of your boundaries, you're going to notice it. So I notice these things. But because something within me is desiring a connection, I then go outside of my boundaries knowing that I shouldn't, knowing that it's going to happen, knowing that what is going on, seeing everything, right? Even if they're not honest with me, I see it. It's my gift, right? But I continually put my boundary down, these boundaries that I set down in the hopes that they will love me. That's wrong. I'm not, I won't do it anymore because I want true love. I want to be appreciated. I want people to see me for me. If that's not where that person's at, then that's okay. But I have the right to set this boundary. And if you don't want to honor it, and if you don't see or want to be where I'm at, then we are not resonating. We're not meeting at that spot that, you know, I want. So I'm not going to go any further with it because then I will get hurt. And that goes for you guys. What patterns? See, that was in a pattern that came up 3 times. Why? What was the teaching for me? And it was the need to set healthy boundaries and stand firm to those boundaries. The need to not get expectations, right? Because I was expecting someone to love me. And in the end, I started to hurt from it. But really, why? Because I am love. I'm loved heavily, and I know I'm valuable. And I don't want to lose that sense, right? But if I would have gone into the situation even further without already feeling that appreciation and that love and that desire for me, I'm just going to get hurt even more. And they know these when you get in these partnerships and relationships, they know this. You'll see it. They'll project it. They'll say things like, "You don't want to be with me because I'm not good for you," or you can't trust me. That's because internally they know what they're doing. They know themselves. And the only thing that I really feel guilty about is because I still want to be friends with these people. And one of them I still have on my Facebook, right? The other, one of them was really toxic, like really bad. And that's okay. That's just their healing journey, right? Um, that was the first one, and that was like very quickly, to just put it that way. But it also is like it's the difference of wanting to love someone and want to be in love with someone that I'm learning. There's a difference, right? And I can still love them because I do. I love all people, right? I love them from afar, and you never know what the possibilities are in the future, right? That those one of them or any of them could come back with a different heart and a different mindset and a different state of being, right? But I don't close those doors, but I will set boundaries. And I want you guys to learn that for yourself. There patterns that are coming up? Are you putting yourself in situations that go against your boundaries, then end up getting hurt, but then at the same time, all you're doing is blaming that person, missing the fact that it was you the whole time? It's not that person. None of them. They have the right to be themselves too. They have the right. If they don't want monogamy and they want polygamy, they want multiple partners. If they want to, you know, lie, if they feel like lying to you is not going to hurt you, right? They rather lie than tell truths. That's their life. That's okay. I don't hate them for it. I don't hate. I I have had my heart opened. So it may take me, so I may get it started and start developing feelings, right, for someone. But then all of a sudden I'm realizing, because I'm always introspection, I'm always going within and I'm always listening to my heart and I'm listening to my higher self. And what that my higher self will show me is through my intuition that it's not good for me. And then I end up pulling myself out of it, right? When in the whole time I should have never put myself in it in the first place. And like even saying this message, 16:16 on the clock, it's hard because it's probably going to reach some people that this has happened in my life, right? And I'm not trying to close a door, but I'm trying to be truthful. Maybe the door is already closed. I don't know, right? That's the unknown. I am ready to go into the unknown. I'm ready. I'm love. I'm ready to be loved. I'm ready to receive. That's the state I'm in. I am not going to be able to just give, because all it does is drain me, and we need to be loved too. So, the message that Spirit has put on my heart and has showed me in my life is to deliver to you guys the importance of setting healthy boundaries and then operating in those boundaries. If you go outside of your boundary and get hurt, you cannot blame anyone else but yourself. If you have patterns that are repeating in your life, you must go within and listen to your higher self. You must try to see everything from a higher perspective. Do not push your rejection and fears onto other people. Don't do it. I mean, you can. It's up to you to do it. But I'm telling you what Spirit is showing me in my life. And I'm pretty sure it's going to resonate with many. I come on with all humility, humble, because I am a humble servant of light. I'm the spirit of love. That's who I am. And I have a special heart. I may get brought down when I'm giving too much, right? And not receiving any. That will then bring me into a lower state. So what happens is I wake up and I pull myself out, right? But I wanted to deliver this to you guys. It was very powerful. I know it's going to bring some clarity into your life. I hope it does. I hope this reaches many souls that needed to hear this. Because Spirit wants you to know that we all have the right to be loved. We all have the right to make our own choices. And we all have the right to make healthy boundaries. So this is the message for the day, guys. Keep creating healthy boundaries and stick to them. Till next time, I'm sending you guys so much love and light from my sacred heart to yours. Namaste.